Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Siddhartha, a novel by Hermann Hesse. The novel deals with the spiritual journey of self-discovery of a man named Siddhartha during the time of Gautama Buddha. Hesse dedicated the first part of the novel to the French writer Romain Rolland and the second part to Wilhelm Gundert, his cousin. The word Siddharth is made up of two words in Sanskrit language. Siddha meaning achieved and Artha means what was searched for. That is, together it means he who has found the meaning of existence or he who has attained his goals. In fact, we all know that Buddha's real name before his renunciation was Siddhartha, the Gautama. He was the prince of Kapilavastu. And the main themes of the novel are the search for enlightenment, the importance of direct experience, acceptance of duality of life, the unity of nature and spirit, and the path to nirvana. The important characters are Siddhartha, who is the novel's protagonist, Vasudeva, the enlightenmented ferryman, Govinda, Siddhartha's best friend, Kamala, a courtesan who instructs Siddha in the art of physical love, Gautama, the enlightened religious leader, also known as Buddha, Kamaswami, an older businessman who teaches Siddhartha the art of business, young Siddhartha, Siddhartha's son with Kamala, Siddhartha's father, and the Samanas, a group of traveling ascetics. Siddhartha, the handsome and respected son of a Brahmin, lives with his father in ancient India. Everyone in the village expects Siddhartha to be a successful Brahmin like his father. Siddhartha enjoys a near idealistic existence with his best friend Govinda, but he is secretly dissatisfied. He notices that his father and the other elders have still not achieved enlightenment, and he feels that staying with them will not settle the questions he has about the nature of his existence. One day, a group of wandering ascetics called Samanas pass through this town. The Samanas are starved and almost naked and have come to beg for food. They believe enlightenment can be reached through asceticism, a rejection of the body and physical desire. Siddhartha believes the path the Samanas may provides the answer he is looking for. He decides to follow this new path. Siddhartha's father is not able to accept it, but at the same time is unable to dissuade Siddhartha. Govinda also wants to find a path to enlightenment and he joins Siddhartha in this new life. Siddhartha adjusts quickly to the ways of the Samanas because of the patience and discipline he learned in the Brahmin tradition. He loses his desire for property, clothing, sexuality, and all sustenance accepted that required to live. Sunburnt and half-starved, Siddhartha soon ceases to resemble the boy he used to be. Govinda notes the considerable moral and spiritual improvements they both have achieved. Siddhartha is also still dissatisfied. He points out that the older Samanas have lived the life for many years but have yet to attain true spiritual enlightenment. At this time, they begin to hear about a new holy man named Gautama, that is Buddha, who has attained the total spiritual enlightenment called nirvana. Govinda convinces Siddhartha that they should both leave the Samanas and seek out Gautama, so they inform the leaders of the Samanas and leave. Siddhartha and Govinda find Gautama's camp of followers and are taken in. Siddhartha is initially pleased with Gautama, and he and Govinda are instructed in the Eightfold Path, the Four Main Points, and other aspects of Buddhism. However, while Govinda is convinced to join Gautama and his followers, Siddhartha still has doubts. He has noticed a contradiction in Gautama's teachings. Siddhartha questions how one can embrace the unity of all things if they are also being told to overcome the physical world. Siddhartha realizes Buddhism will not give him the answers he needs. Sadly, he leaves Govinda behind and begins a search for the meaning of life, the achievement of which he feels will not be dependent on religious instruction. Siddhartha decides to embark on a life free from meditation and the spiritual quest he has been pursuing and to instead learn from the pleasures of the body and the material world. In his new wandering, Siddhartha meets a friendly ferryman, fully content with a simple life. Siddhartha crosses the ferryman's river and comes to a city. Here, a beautiful courtesan named Kamala entrances him. He knows she would be the best one to teach him about the world of love, but Kamala will not have him unless he proves he can fit into the material world. She convinces him to take up the path of the merchant. With her help, Siddhartha soon finds employment with a merchant named Kamaswami and begins to learn the trade. While Siddhartha learns the wisdom of the business world, Kamala becomes his lover and teaches him what she knows about love. Soon, Siddhartha is a rich man and enjoys the benefit of an affluent life. He gambles, drinks, and dances. But he is detached from this life and can never see it as more than a game. He is soon caught in a cycle of unhappiness that he tries to escape by engaging in even more gambling, drinking, and sex. When he is at his most disillusioned, he dreams that Kamala's rare songbird is dead in its cage. He understands that the material world is slowly killing him without providing him with the enlightenment for which he has been searching. One night he resolves to leave it all behind and departs without notifying either Kamala or Kamasami. Sick at heart, Siddhartha wanders until he finds a river. He considers drowning himself but instead falls asleep on the river bank. While he is sleeping, Govinda, who is now a Buddhist monk, passes by. Not recognizing Siddhartha, he watches over the sleeping man to protect him from snakes. Siddhartha immediately recognizes Govinda when he wakes up, but Govinda notices that Siddhartha has changed significantly. Siddhartha wishes to become someone new. Govinda soon leaves to continue on his journey, and Siddhartha sits by the river and considers where his life has taken him. Siddhartha seeks out the ferryman he met years before. The ferryman, who introduces himself as Vasudeva, radiates an inner peace that Siddhartha wishes to attain. Vasudeva tells he himself has attained the sense of peace through many years of studying the river. Siddhartha expresses a desire to likewise learn from the river, and Vasudeva agrees to let Siddhartha live and work beside him. Siddhartha studies the river and begins to take from it a spiritual enlightenment, and in the river's voice he hears the word Om. One day, Kamala, the courtesan, approaches the ferry along with the son on a pilgrimage to visit Gautama, who is said to be dying. Before they can cross, a snake bites Kamala. Siddhartha and Vasudeva tend to Kamala, but the bite kills her. Before she dies, she tells Siddhartha that he is the father of her 11-year-old son. Siddhartha does his best to console and provide for his son, but the boy is spoilt and cynical. Siddhartha's son dislikes life with the two ferrymen and wishes to return to his familiar city and wealth. Vasudeva believes Siddhartha's son should be allowed to leave if he wants to, but Siddhartha is not ready to let him go. One morning, Siddhartha awakens to find his son has run away and stolen all of his and Vasudeva's money. Siddhartha chases after the boy, but as he reaches the city, he realizes the chase is futile. Vasudeva brings him back and instructs him to soothe the pain of losing his son by listening to the river. Siddhartha studies the river for many years, and Vasudeva teaches Siddhartha how to learn the many secrets the river has to tell. In contemplating the river, Siddhartha has a revelation. Just as the water of the river flows into the ocean and is returned by rain, all forms of life are interconnected in a cycle without beginning or end. Birth and death are all parts of a timeless unity. Life and death, joy and sorrow, good and evil are all parts of the whole and are necessary to understand the meaning of life. By the time Siddhartha has learnt all the river's lessons, Vasudeva announces that he is through with his life at the river. He retires into the forest, leaving Siddhartha to be the ferryman. The novel ends with Govinda returning to the river to seek enlightenment by meeting with the wise man who lives there. When Govinda arrives, he does not recognize that the wise man is Siddhartha himself. Govinda is still a follower of Gautama, but has yet to attain the kind of enlightenment that Siddhartha now radiates, and he asks Siddhartha to teach him what he knows. Siddhartha explains that verbal explanations are limited and can never communicate the entirety of enlightenment. Instead, he asks Govinda to kiss him on the forehead, and when Govinda does, the vision of unity that Siddhartha has experienced is communicated instantly to Govinda. Govinda and Siddhartha have both finally achieved the enlightenment they set out to find in the days of their youth, and the story ends here. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.